Hello again. I do hope devoutly that no viewer of this channel trusts Home Secretary Suella Braverman or believes a single word which she says about immigration. She is talking tough on the subject for one reason alone, because she thinks that this is what people want to hear, and she believes that there are votes in it for her. When I say votes, I don't mean as regards the general election next year. Like everybody else in the British government, she rather thinks that that's a lost cause, and she may well be right. No, what Braverman has her eye on is the Conservative Party leadership battle, which will ensue once Rishi Sunak has lost the election. Since this will be decided by the Tory party, Braverman is directing all her efforts to sucking up to them and showing that she is somebody who intends to be tough on immigration and tough on the causes of immigration. Whether this will work or not, I have no idea. What I do know is that Suella Braverman does not have the slightest intention of cutting immigration, and it would be pretty odd, frankly, if she did. Like the Prime Minister, Foreign Secretary and Business Secretary, Braverman's parents were born in Africa. She can hardly be expected, realistically, to be opposed to immigration. We can be quite sure in Braverman's case that she is not concerned in the least about keeping immigration down, because the Home Office, and that is the government department she is in charge of, casually released a document last week in which it was mentioned in passing that immigration to Britain was likely to double in coming years. Considering that net immigration last year was running at over 600,000, you might have thought that the news that this would double might have had Braverman making a special announcement about what she proposed to do to stop this state of affairs arising. But no, nothing of the kind. We must assume that she is fine with it. In the description to this video, I give a link to a piece about this. The Home Office believes that the number of visas for qualified foreign workers will rise from the 204,000 which were granted in 2023 to 2024 to 584,000 in 2028 to 2029. Specific mention is made of the fact that more care home workers are needed. Meanwhile, the overseas student visa racket is coming apart at the seams, since a lot of people are applying to study in this country just so that they can apply for asylum once they have their feet under the table here. The number of students from Ghana has increased 100%, and if anybody honestly does not realise that much of the foreign student business is a thinly disguised immigration scam, then that person must be deaf, dumb and blind. Suella Braverman manages to keep up the pretense of tackling immigration by focusing all her efforts upon illegal immigration and claims for asylum. This represents less than 10% of immigration to this country, of course, and so she is automatically ignoring 90% of the problem by doing so. Not only that, but concentrating on a scheme which she knows perfectly well will never affect more than a few dozen people, namely the Rwanda plan, the Home Secretary makes sure that the actual drivers for immigration are left unchecked. I have no idea at all if anybody is really taken in by Braverman's act. I suspect not, because it is such a feeble pretense that it wouldn't deceive a child. I suppose that even if she did really want to do something, she knows that time is fast running out for this administration to get any legislation at all through Parliament before an election has to be called. Nietzsche said, even when the mouth lies, the direction it points tells the truth, and Suella Braverman's actions are a perfect illustration of this. The very fact that she talks only of illegal immigration indicates that she is quite happy to see legal immigration to Britain double, and does not intend to do anything about it, even if she could. I have an idea that awful as this government has been when it comes to immigration, things are going to be a damn sight worse under a Labour government, And that will be upon us before we know it, by the end of next year at the very latest.